If you miss me at the back of the bus and you can't find me nowhere, oh, just come on up to the front of the bus, 'cause I'll be sitting up there. If you miss me at the back of the bus and you can't find me nowhere, oh, just come on up to the front of the bus, 'cause I'll be sitting up there. I'll be sitting up there, you know it. I'll be sitting up there. Oh, just come on up to the front of the bus, 'cause I'll be sitting up there.
Condra Ridley, Chief Condra Ridley, you've been playing Rosa Parks for so many years now. You're starting to look like her.
Oh, yeah, I think I was looking like her from the start, because when I first started doing Mrs. Parks, it was 1999, and at that time I was real close to the age she was when she did the bus boycott. Miss Parks was born in 1913. She refused to give up her seat on December 1st, 1955. So you young people do the math and you'll know how old Mrs. Parks was. But she was a brave, courageous woman. And a lot of times people want to say Mrs. Parks was tired, her feet were tired. She was indeed a very excellent tailor who worked for the Montgomery Fair department store in Montgomery. But that day, she was not tired in her feet. She was tired in her soul. She was tired of seeing black people be mistreated all over the city and all over the land just because of the color of their skin. And for 13 years, she was the secretary for the local NAACP. And she knew that they had all sorts of trouble in Montgomery and all over Alabama because of race. And she was tired of it, and she knew that something had to be done. So that day, when she said, no, I won't get up out of my seat, she was saying no to the unfair treatment, and she knew something had to be done, and she made that step to do it.
But what originally attracted you to her character?
I think just having read some things about her, and I knew about the Montgomery bus boycott having been one of the longest protests that had ever been waged in America against any injustice, and I thought she would just be a wonderful person. In reading about her, I learned more and more about her, and her character was just magnificent. And she was a woman, as history now shows, she was a dynamic person and a woman of God who took her seat to make a statement and to make change.
You know, speaking of making statements to make change, what you just said there and talking about history and how she stood up, is there another lesson in that? In that the reason that you have to know your history is when you look at times like that and times like today, what she was fighting for then, we're going to be fighting for again today.
That's exactly right. But I think when you learn your lessons from history, and I think that's what history is available to us to teach us, the things that we can draw strength from and to know that we have the power to overcome any obstacle. I think Mrs. Parks and many other the people who were involved in civil rights during the 50s and 60s and all of the struggle that people of African descent have endured in this country, I think their stories speak to us of the power of one person who wants to do the right thing. There's always, Dr. King said it best. He said the time is always right to do what is right. So I think today that speaks directly to us because we see very clearly that there is some right that must be done and nobody can do it but us. So we need to each get up, do what we know to be right, get on up, like James Brown said, get on up.
Well, you know, is there another message here also to younger people, those who are saying that the civil rights era is irrelevant and that we need to forget about it and get past that because today is a new day?
Today is a different day. We still have many of the same struggles. The struggle, like people keep saying, the struggle continues, but I think they're going to be able to see it with clearer vision and recognize the things that happened before, they could happen again unless you step in and stop the madness.
Tell me about Mr. Sims. I met him I've been knowing him for all my life, I guess, but what is the significance of his story with the bus company and Fort Wayne history?
Mr. Sims is one of Fort Wayne's trailblazers. We have many of them in our community, and we are blessed that many of them are still alive. They have a lot that they can tell us and share with us in terms of how to deal with issues that are problematic. And we do have a lot of problems in our community, and oftentimes we come with our new attitudes and think that we can fix things according to the way we think they should be fixed. But we need to listen to our elders and let them instruct us in the real and true way that problems can be solved. And I think Mr. Sims is one to be treasured and to be really honored for the things that he was able to endure in order to make it possible for us to honor a black woman, Rosa Parks, today, and recognize that what she did made a major difference in the world.
But also it says one more thing, that Fort Wayne history and the first blacks to make certain accomplishments are still alive. So therefore, those first black accomplishments that Fort Wayne blacks made, it wasn't that long ago.
It's still not that old at all. So if they're still here, we've only got 61 years since Mrs. Parks refused to give up her seat. So 60 years, I'm there. We're there. So that's not that long ago. So we don't want to take ourselves backward in time. We have a future to reach out for and make better. So I say let's take the lessons from the past, apply them to our current situation, and solve these problems that we have, and we can fix the things that confront us. And I think Mr. Sims, Mrs. Parks, and countless others, we can draw from their experience and from their example and really do what we need to do right now.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.